Meet Isabelle. She's a first grader at Ashley Elementary in the year 2020. Let's take a look at what her day could look like. Isabelle is greeted by her principals and teachers as she walks into the auditorium for morning meeting. Morning meeting is always filled with songs and clapping and celebrations and things that get kids focused for their day. After she stands for the pledge, she heads off to class. As she gets to her classroom, she quickly puts her things away. She lines up to get her iPad from her teacher, and then sits at her desk quickly so she can get in a few minutes of free time while the class gets settled. When everyone is seated and ready, Isabelle's teacher calls for attention to announce the morning rotations. Her first station will be guided reading with her teacher on the carpet. At her next station, Isabelle and her group members will use word wall words that have been written out on index cards to create sentences on a desktop. Isabelle's group can then easily and quickly take pictures of these sentences and save them for portfolio work or post them so that their teacher can showcase them online. For her final station, Isabelle will scan a QR code that her teacher projects on the whiteboard. This quickly takes her to a Tumble Books reading that her teacher has selected for the day. If Isabelle pays close attention, she could even pass an AR test later on. Students get called back to their desks as independent reading time begins. Isabelle gets excited when her teacher announces that any student who passes an AR test today will get to participate in some buddy reading up on the carpet. She decides to reread the Tumble Book from station time to make sure that she passes on her first try. She aces her test and then heads to the carpet and finds her friend Sarai, who's also looking for a buddy for partner reading. They select a book together, find a place to read out loud where they won't be distracted, and have just enough time to pass another AR test before the end of independent reading time. Isabelle and her classmates scramble back to their seats as their teacher passes out their science textbooks. As the class engages in a shared reading from the book, Isabelle's teacher very carefully models the inquiry process. She's inquisitive about things that the class reads and asks lots of questions. But instead of leaving these questions unanswered, Isabelle's teacher shows her class how to use their iPads to actually find some answers to these questions. They link terms from their book to definitions and pictures that they find from the internet. And the best part is that with simple screenshots, all of their findings can be saved for later use. Needless to say, Isabelle loves science. She gets to ask all the questions she wants and watches these questions turn into classroom activities that enrich everybody's experience. As science class comes to an end, Isabelle and her classmates pack up their iPads and head down to the art room. The art teacher uses an Edmodo page, so Isabelle and her classmates can see every single art project that they've created for the entire year. Short instructional videos can also be quickly and easily uploaded there so that students can go back and rewatch them if they need inspiration or get stuck in a rut. The page, while acting like a digital art gallery, also allows students to comment and interact with each other, creating an arena for collaboration that never really existed in a traditional art room before. As art class ends, Isabelle and her classmates clean up, line up, and head back to homeroom. As they file back into class, they put their iPads on the cart so they can catch a quick charge during math instruction. This consists of a classic gradual release model with a whole group mini lesson on the carpet, followed up by guided skill practice at their desks. While her teacher stays on the carpet with a small group of struggling students, Isabelle heads back to her desk with the remainder of her class to work on a worksheet under the close guidance of a paraprofessional. As the students finish their worksheets, they very quickly and easily upload them to Edmodo to add to their digital math portfolios. As the first students finish this exercise, Isabelle's teacher projects a QR code on the whiteboard. This code will take students to the IXL website where they will practice the skills that they learned in today's mini lesson. Once Isabelle has shown that she has mastered today's skill, she will be allowed to engage in the weekly Some Dog competition that her teacher has posted online. During all of this skills practice time, both teacher and para are present and engaged in the room to help with students that get stuck or to give guidance on next steps. As math skills practice comes to a close, Isabelle and her classmates prepare for lunch and recess, where I'm sure you all know nothing ever goes wrong. After recess comes writing, which has an Edmodo group of its own. As Isabelle logs in, she notices that the sentence stems that are at the top of the Edmodo page are the same ones that are on the whiteboard in the front of class. As she finishes her writing tasks for the day, she'll not only be expected to take pictures of them to upload to her digital portfolio, but she'll also be expected to go back and practice word processing with some of these sentence stems. As writing class comes to a close, Isabelle's teacher has her students clean up, write down any homework assignments from the day, line up with their backpacks, and head down to the auditorium for afternoon meeting. When the second bell rings, Isabelle and her classmates are already seated in the auditorium and ready for the quick series of celebrations to follow. The curtain opens to reveal 3 large poster boards. On each of these poster boards is a different academic skill that Isabelle and all other students at Ashley Elementary are expected to master by the time they leave 5th grade. Isabelle watches as students from different classes and grade levels walk up to the stage and proudly slap their names on these poster boards. They stay on stage long enough for a round of applause and then head back to their seats as final announcements are made. After this, Isabelle and every other student at Ashley Elementary will group up and break out into club activities. Isabelle's in a group called Family Sharing. Students in this group meet in the library, along with parents or grandparents or aunties or uncles or even little brothers and sisters and cousins. This club is run by a teacher who passes out MacBooks to each one of the families and then not only coaches parents on how to help with homework, but also teaches families how to have a rich conversation about what their students are learning at school. Now, I want you to stop and put yourself in the shoes of this 1st grade student. You're given a MacBook after this long day of school and asked to share with your mother what you learned. Isabelle could show her mother AR test scores, screenshots from science, questions that she worked on in IXL, the Sumdog leaderboard, pictures of color patterns that she created in art, and as well as pictures and sentence stems from writing. Veritably everything she did today, she can share with her mother on this computer. And not just conversationally, but physically, she can show her these things. Everything that she has done today, she has preserved and made relevant. This is Isabelle, 1st grade student at Ashley Elementary. Can you feel the love tonight? Tonight, where we are. It's now the middle believe the very bills. It's now the believe the very best.